Greetings, I'm Alexander Bonds. I play the role of Shane in the movie Leap. And this is Chris Temple, also known as El Director, the director of the movie Leap. Now, Chris was also our trainer in PK. He's been doing this for 3 years, and he'd like to help us show you some of the basics today.
Alright, well, before we get started, I want to make sure everyone at home understands first that the parkour in the movie isn't meant to be extravagant parkour and big for the sake of being big. A lot of the guys that have been around for a while, been doing this for a while, will look at the film and go, wow, that's really not that impressive. But that wasn't the point. The point was that these guys had just started training, so yeah, they're not going to be that good yet. Alright, well, just the same, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't exercise some level of caution when you're training. So the most important things are make sure that, first of all, you're competent to do what you're doing. Don't try anything you're not ready for. And make sure you're staying smart with where you're training as well. Now, part of making sure that you're competent means we start with a good warm-up, so let's go and get started with that right now. Alright, well, this looks like a pretty good spot to be. We got plenty of grass all around, so we're not going to hurt ourselves. But first, let's go and get started with the warm-up, then we'll move on to some of the fun stuff. Alright, so let's go and start. We'll rotate our necks in circles, go in one direction. Do that a couple times and go the other way. Then you put your arms out to the side, start circling your arms. Forward, start out small, gradually get bigger as they go. Now we're going to kind of blitz through this here, go the other direction. Get small, start out small, then going bigger. Ideally, you want to spend a little bit more time doing what we're doing here. Scissor your arms across the body, alternating left over right, and then right over left. Start twisting your torsos.
Snap, crackle, and pop.
That's right. Alright, do the hula, circle your hips. Feel solid through your back, through your joint hips. Good. Alright, get your knees. Make sure you're working both sides. Get your elbows going too at the same time. And then you finish off with your wrists and ankles. Again, both sides, both directions. Good. Alright, we're going to get started off with some rolls. Alright, so the first thing we're going to start off, like I said, with the roll. Now, we got a lot of grass here, which is good, so we're not going to hurt ourselves. What I want you guys to do, go and put your right knee up first. You're going to make a diamond with your hands. And you're going to put it to the left side of your body. Go and move to the other side. You're also going to tuck your head to the left as well. So again, knee up, make the diamond, drop it down to the side. And what we're going to do is we're basically going to be pointing our shoulder right towards the ground. We're going to lean forward and touch it to the ground. What you want to think about doing is drawing a line from your shoulder to your opposite hip, so it does this, but across my back. And what that's going to allow you to do is to dissipate the force when you're actually taking drops or things of that nature without having your spine touch the ground, without having your head touch the ground. Because if your head goes, let's just say that the ground is a lot harder than your head. So, touch it down, and we're going to then lean forward, touch our shoulder, and make sure you slap as you come out of it. That's very important to do. And your momentum should carry you back up to your feet.
And since the mindset of parkour is adaptability, it's important to work both sides so that you're able to do it in any situation.
And we have a good exercise for that too. What we're going to do is we're going to go one side, the other side, and the other side. 1, 2, 3. And you can even do as many as you can, but I find it's hard for your brain to tolerate more than about 3 at a time before you feel like you're about to throw up. Now that we've got the hang of the rolls, we're going to start doing this a little bit more practically now. So we're going to give this an application you'd find when you're actually out doing your training, and that's taking a drop. Now, I'm not actually going to start off this high. We actually want to start off here a little bit lower. So here's what it looks like, and then we'll break it down on how to pull it off. You just jump, roll out of it. Alright, so a couple key points on the landing when you're landing from a drop of any sort. You want to make sure that your knees never bend past 90 degrees. If you bring them past here, you're going to end up damaging your knees and end up with what's called Osgood-Schlatter's, which I happened to develop as a kid. Camera guy, if you want to zoom in real close on this here, you can see I've got this bump right here on my knee. And that's from the tendon pulling away from the bone from doing improper landings as a kid playing around. Once I learned how to take the landings properly, of course I haven't had any problem since, but now I'm still stuck bandaging it up every time I want to go out to train. So when you land, Your knees don't bend past 90 degrees. So what that's going to force you to do to get that roll going is you're going to have to be leaning forward a lot more. You don't want to come out from here, hit, and then lean forward to roll. You need to be almost leaning forward as you touch the ground. So, check. It's one motion. It's not two moves are too slow. One fluid motion. Alright, well as you guys can see, we're at a different location now. We've had fun playing in the grass for a little bit, so now let's go and work on another aspect of parkour, which is jumping. Our art relies almost 100% on being able to jump and using your legs and training your leg muscles to do things that they're not used to doing. So we have a great way of practicing that, and that's, as you can see here, we've got some lines marked out on the ground. And they're only about 3 feet apart, so nothing too big, but these will come in handy for what we're trying to do here. So all you guys want to do is just come to one line, put your toes on the line, you're just going to get that shot. Much better. Alright, so if you listen to the way Alex landed there on that jump, you hardly heard a noise, and that's because the skill of a tracer is measured by how stealth and how silent they can actually be. So when you guys are training this, make sure that you're not making any noises as you land. You should barely hear, you don't want to hear that. That's bad. You want it to be nice and quiet like that. Bend your knees as you come down into it. Don't be afraid to just relax and just go with the jump. If you jump all stiff, like, you're gonna screw yourself up. If you're jumping on a rail, you're gonna fall, biff it, totally screw yourself over. Just make sure that you're just staying loose with it. And having these lines on the ground is a great way for training doing rail jumps. You don't ever want to start off jumping on rails by jumping on rails. You want to start off on the ground at ground level. If you don't have any lines on here like we have to work with, you can mark out some lines with chalk. There's numerous ways that you can go about it and still keeping it safe. Alright, so another way you can work on building up the strength in your legs is by doing a little, what I call the hopscotch exercise. And you see here, we've got this T on the ground. So all you're going to do is you're going to come up and just start jumping from one side to the other. Then you go side to side. You go diagonally. Go the other way. Go to circle. Other direction. Figure 8. And the other way. Doing that's definitely going to build up your leg muscles that much faster, which will be good because then you're not going to feel pain anymore. Alright, so once you get the hang of doing the jumps on the ground over there, next thing you can do is start working yourself up to ledges like this. Do some planter boxes, these happen to be about 9 feet apart. Boom, jump from one to the other. Now, I don't want you guys starting off with the long jumps straight up on there. What you're going to do is you're actually going to find some lines here on the ground. So as you can see, I've drawn out some lines here on the ground. We've got a line here. Got a line over here. Like I said, these are about 9 feet apart. It's a good distance to work out to. If you can't find any lines like that, or you don't have a tape measure, the lines in a parking lot happen to be the exact same distance these are. So it works really well. You can use those. Now, to work up to doing the standing long jump, obviously you're not going to have the strength in your legs to do it like that right away. So what you're going to do is you're going to run at it. Start back the same distance, about 9 feet, and just kind of jog. And the important thing is to make sure that you're bringing your feet together in the air. It's a 2-foot landing. You're not landing on 1 foot, okay? You want to land both feet together. It's a lot more control, and it's going to soften your landing a lot more. So again, you're going to do that a couple times. You can run. Always making sure you're precise. Precision jump isn't precise unless you're landing where you want to land. You want to land right on the line. In this case, we use this one right here so you can see. On the balls of your feet. Don't land on your heels, because if you do that, your feet are going to fly out in front of you. Landing on the ball of your feet. Once I get comfortable with the runs, I'm going to start shortening it up. I'm going to do it from here. Boom. And you work yourself closer and closer and closer until eventually you're going to be able to just stand, jump, and hit that mark every single time. You're going to find it does wonders for your legs. Girls, you're going to love this. Your thighs are going to feel like they've never looked before. Guys, well, you're going to be able to run faster than you've probably ever been able to run before too. Alright, now parkour is a very efficient art. And part of efficiency means that you're not doing any wasted motion. I don't know how many people I start teaching and I see them, they're doing their jumps, they're like, ugh, and then they jump from there. Don't do that. If you're going to swing your arms, that's fine. But you can start them right from here, bring them back, and then bring them forward to the jump. One last note about the long jumps too, and this arm swinging leads into that. Your entire body gets into the jump. It's not just the legs. When I'm jumping, if you watch it in slow motion, which maybe we'll put on the DVD here, my arms lead into it, as my legs, I extend my chest, get my head leading in, and then in midair I bring my feet forward to intercept that landing. So it's your entire body in the jump. Alright, now we're going to get into the really fun stuff. Vaults. This is probably one of the most recognizable aspects of PK. First one we're going to start with is called the granny vault. As you heard in the movie, it talks about Shane inventing it. Well, he didn't actually invent it, but one of the guys I've taught in the past did actually create this vault. Very simple, very easy to do. You're just going to approach your obstacle, plant your hands on it, one then the other, and you're going to basically do a sideways cartwheel, bringing your legs just kind of this little fan shape, or a rainbow crescent over the obstacle. Looks like this. Very simple, very easy to do. Make sure you're working both sides. Drill that a couple times, and move on. So now we're going to go on one of my favorite vaults called the lazy vault. It's great for when you're running along parallel to an obstacle and you want to go on the other side and keep running in the same direction. You're going to come up to it, adjust your pacing so your outer foot steps forward. You're going to plant your hand on the obstacle. If it's a rail, you obviously will grab the rail, but in this case I'm going to go more towards the other side here. I'm going to bring my back leg and bring it up, and that's how I'm going to jump. That's where I'm getting all my power from. In the process, I'm then going to have to support myself on this arm. My legs are going to come over. I'm going to then drop my other arm down to help support me as I push off and then keep running. Looks like this. Alright, so we got the granny vault, we got the lazy vault, now on to one called the thief vault. This one's also called the Stéphane vault. It's named after a guy in France, one of the original guys that he started training with the founders. Wasn't one of the founders, but he's been with us from the beginning. This vault's great for when you're running straight at the obstacle and you want to keep it nice and smooth and fluid, and due to some certain circumstances where you're not going to be able to Kong it, you're not going to be able to speed vault it, reverse vault it, any other vaults you typically use going straight on. So it's just like the lazy vault, except you're going straight at the obstacle. You're going to bring your feet out to the side this time, rather than going in front of you. They go out to the side over the obstacle. Again, making sure you bring that backhand down. If you don't do that, I will smack you. Alright, now we're going to move on to the most recognizable vault of parkour, the Kong or the monkey vault. Now some people say there's a difference between a Kong and a monkey. Me personally, I call them the same. If you want to get technical and create more work for yourself and more things to have to learn and memorize, a monkey vault is where your hands hit while your feet are still on the ground, and the Kong vault is where you jump first and then your hands hit. But for all intents and purposes, I'm referring to both vaults as the Kong vault. Very simple to do, but it's also very difficult to get over the fear involved with it, because what it looks like is that you're coming at it and it feels like you're going to be clipping your feet. We'll get back over here. Now the way we work up to doing that is you're going to find your obstacle. I like going about waist high, maybe a little bit lower. In this case, I'm going back up a little bit here. I'm going to go right about here because it's a little bit easier for me to get onto. I like having them a little bit higher. Some people like them lower. You'll find your personal preference. You're going to come up, you're going to put your hands on the obstacle, and you're going to push with your arms, jump with your feet, and you want to get your feet up onto the ledge. That's the first step. So drill that over and over and over until you feel comfortable with it. Make sure you keep your knees together. Make sure they're coming up in between your arms. You don't want them coming off to a side or, you know, kind of tilting sideways, lifting one arm up. Keep them together the entire time. As you get more and more comfortable with it, you're going to start moving yourself further and further along the ledge. So I'm going to start reaching towards the end of it now. And back. Again, this is one best learned on a ledge and not on a handrail. Get over here. Eventually, you're going to reach the point where you realize, hey, I can just fly over this thing. When that happens, you just go for it. Clearing the obstacle. That's the Kong. Alright, now we're going to go on to my other favorite vault. I have quite a few of them. This one's called the reverse vault. It's great for getting over high and wide obstacles such as this. Yeah, you can Kong something like this, but it's really difficult to do. The nice thing about the reverse vault is that with the motion that you've been having in the air, it actually helps get you up and over the obstacle. By something aside, make sure that your landing at the end is appropriate. So what you're going to do is you're going to walk up or run up to the obstacle. You're going to jump, and depending on which way you want to rotate, I'm going to have my hands on there. In the reverse vault, you rotate 360 degrees before landing, so if I jump off facing this way, I'm going to land facing that same direction, having my rotation take place over the obstacle. Looks like this. Yeah, so Alex and I had a coin toss to see who was going to be in front of the camera demonstrating all this stuff, and I lost, hence the reason why you get to look at my pretty mug right now. So now that we're done with the vaults, we're going to do the conditioning. This is so important, so key to getting your muscles ready for doing all the moves that we're going to be doing. First thing we're going to do is what I call gator crawls. And to do that, we actually have to work up to it. We have to build up some coordination with our arms and our feet. So you're going to start off in just a square stance like this on all fours, keeping your butt low. You don't want it up high. Keep it nice and low. You're going to move your left hand and your right foot at the same time. And you move your right hand and your left foot at the same time. So you just start crawling along like that. You can go a little distance and then go backwards. Alright, now once you get comfortable and you get the coordination down on doing those, which by the way is the same motion you're going to be using when you're walking along handrails doing cat crawls and such. Now we're going to do the actual gator crawl. What it is you're going to take a step, do a push-up, take a step, do a push-up. And you're going to go forward about 5 steps and back about 5 steps. I know it's only 10, but for most people it's about all you can start with. Gradually, I want you to work up to it until you're doing 10, 20, 30. If you can do 50, man, props to you. Because that would be 50 forward, 50 back. That's 100 push-ups with the gator crawl. That's going to be some serious strength. Gator crawls look like this, though. Boom. Butt low, head up. Let's go forward. And then backward. Oh, I feel stronger already. I love it. Alright. So after you've gotten the hang and gotten the coordination down of doing, left hand, right hand, left foot, now we're going to take it to some stairs. And this is where it seriously is going to get difficult for you guys. But again, it's fun. So I start off, I don't know, about 10 feet from the stairs. Sometimes I'll start off all the way from the windows if I feel like it. But you're going to get the coordination down. You're going to walk down the stairs, keeping your butt low the entire time. Both hands hit the ground. And then you come back up. Do that a couple times, email me, let me know how you feel, and then we'll move on to the next one. Alright, next up is what I call the power crawl. Kind of like the Power Rangers. What we're going to do is we're going to go on all fours as fast as we can across here, down the stairs, and out a little bit more towards the street. Really works on your coordination, your speed, your endurance, your stamina, just everything gets worked out from this. Here we go. I think Alex is punishing me for making him do all that stuff in the film. You may be wondering why I'm lying on the ground right now. Yeah, I am tired, but that's not the reason why I'm here. Next up in our conditioning routine is El Director's 5-minute ab workout. To start off, we're going to do something called what I call air chairs. Some people call it Thor's hammer. You're going to sit here, cross your legs, make a 45-degree angle between your back and the ground, balancing on your butt, feet up off the ground. You're just going to start moving your hands from one side to another. This is a great one to do while you're watching TV. This way you can actually still work out while you're watching TV. Just keep doing this as long as you can. Now, for those of you that feel like you've gotten it down, you want to go a little bit more advanced, we're going to start bicycling our legs as we do it too. So it's boom, opposite sides as you do it. You'll find your time gets cut in about half when you start doing this way. Alright, so after you do the air chairs, then we go on to what I call L-sits. And I'm going to spin like this so you guys can see the nice L shape I'm going to make. Head stays on the ground, hands on the ground. You can make fists in the grass if you need to from all the pain. You can bring your legs up, making an L shape with your body. Starting with your right leg first, bring it down on a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Bounce it 3 times. 2, 3, without it touching the ground. Bring it up on a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to shoot my feet towards the sky, getting my hips up off the ground. Boom. That's one set. We do the other side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hips up. And that's an entire round. I want you guys to start off doing 3 rounds. Work your way up to 4, 5, and so on and so forth. But I guarantee you're going to be struggling doing the 3. Alright, we got Alex back in the shot now. We're going to do partner leg raisers. He's going to come stand up here behind me. Person on the ground's going to reach back, grab their ankles, bring your feet up. He's going to push them down towards the ground. I can't let him touch the ground, and I bring him back up. Boom, and do as many of these as you can. Max it out. We'll do it here in real time for you guys. A little ticker going on here too or something like that. Now I haven't trained in about 4 weeks since we stopped shooting, so this is definitely fun for me right now. But the cool thing is that your muscles don't deteriorate as quickly as your flexibility does. Alright, I'm done. Alright, so that is my 5-minute ab workout. That's it for the conditioning.
Alright, El. Thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
Coming out, teaching us some basics. Go out, train safe, live free.
Okay. So how did you get involved with the film?
Well, actually, a friend of mine told me about a friend of mine who had seen an ad on Craigslist saying that a guy was looking for actors who were interested in learning parkour. And, well, I just kind of fit the bill.
Have you ever done it before?
Parkour? No, I'm just training, is the thing. I just started, so it's going to be a rough couple months.
You guys on how much pain you went through and things. So. Circle the hips. I mean, you read in the script how they felt. It's just like that. Come back. You start. You start going around, going both ways, you know. Get some twists going in there. You see why my motto is unleash your inner monkey. Good. Very nice. Good.
Whoa.
To your left shoulder. If it hurts, it means you're doing it wrong.
Ouch.
It burn!
That's it,
No, it's awesome. There you go. It's just all about relaxing with it. I overshot that one, but... Balls in your feet up. Awesome. Feet together in the air, and don't forget, you gotta launch yourself. Very nice. And then back down. Good. You wag your arms off here, and then come up, come back down, come up, come back down, come up, down. Yep. Oh, good. Make sure you're just really.
You're done.
Yes! Excellent job.
How's the first day of training going?
Sore, number one. But for me, it's sort of like I've been doing it. I didn't know it was parkour, but I used to do that as a kid, and kind of just practicing some moves that I never done. Otherwise, it's coming along pretty well.
It takes coordination. Start off with every. Not unless you want to.
I'll just do it. How's your first day going so far?
Like Toshka said, parkour is hardcore. Oh man, I'm serious. You're like, boom, you don't need no gyms, I'm even serious. Like my muscles, like hundreds of years of workout. I'm telling you, man.
What's the hardest part?
Hardest part? Well, see, it gives you like a leg workout really, really bad. I see this monkey stuff. I'm serious. No, I'm serious. This monkey stuff is.
Oh that's dangerous.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
I forgot this. Okay.
or your other hand coming down to grab it. But after a while, you'll just feel for it down and you'll be able to do it no problem. It's the exact same thing as over there, just doing it on a rail.
Wow, it's actually not
Yeah,
that
very nice.
Whoa.
All right.
I know.
I like it better because you can actually grab the rail on the other side.
But in a way, it's like I can't
Pop
do
yourself
it.
up. This hand's on top. Okay, you're gonna let go of this hand as you jump. You're gonna end up supporting yourself over here as you clear it, and then you're gonna land over here like this.
A little closer to the bar so your core isn't stretched out.
So jump, and then you gotta hold yourself up on your arm.
I'm scared.
There you go, good.
Oh, good.
Hey, you got it. Good job.
That was not that bad.
Ah,
It's too scary.
you gotta let go with your other hand.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
I have to practice
It's all on the feet.
It's all you. Yeah. Seems like it'd be easier. I know. I'm scared to do it.
Once you can get your feet touching the top, you can just go
way
for
high
it.
enough.
You can do it.
Way high enough.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Very
How do you do it?
She doesn't look good. Banana man. Wow. You float. She floats.
We gotta get going, Olga. We're behind.
I'm behind too. I think I figured it all out.
Oh my gosh.
This is hecka hard.
It's too hard.
You just hecka.
I need one balance.
Get that thing down. I have to get that thing down.
I wanna put my knees up.
So now we're gonna hang in on a cat like this. I'm gonna jump, spin 180 degrees in the air, catch myself on this one. And the idea is you just work yourself down, you go in different directions each time. So you start out and you
See, I don't know if I should do that.
Awesome.
Something else.
Alright, so try to land your feet.
start hanging down. And then you're gonna jump and spin that. Now you're gonna spin this way. Yep.
Feet against the wall. Feet against the wall.
I did one of them, but that's it.
Okay, watch out, you guys.
Okay.
It's awesome going.
Everybody come out and give this. What's that?
I know, makes you want to do that.
Doing cat to cats. So you're gonna cat lead.
I don't think I can jump
You
that
can't
far.
do it here.
I can't jump
We're
that
doing
far.
here. I think this side's easier.
There you go. Good.
This side's easier, but the other side is hard.
That's why we're doing this.
Alright.
Yes.
Why can't I do it? I really can do
My
it.
legs. I'm so good at my legs.
I know, I feel like.
See, everybody does it.
Oh, I almost got it. He did that. Jumping high.
See the walls just came.
I want to do it. I want to get it.
Are you still reaching for it? Or are you actually? I learned to do that like that.
Oh, so
I
close.
learned to.
Just keep in mind that the I-beam only goes in about 1 inch, so you gotta grab it with your fingers rather than your whole hand.
We're not going to hang on this thing.
Oh, that black thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to try.
Jeez.
Look up there, but
I don't know.
initially you're just gonna grab this part.
harder.
You get to this, and you can pull up there.
You need some things still. You need some That was easier now.
No, I got what you mean now.
I just didn't decide to hang on it.
Now hang on to this step.
Horizontal.
I don't know.
And then once you hang, you vertically pull it to where you can get a better grip on top.
What I was doing is I wasn't putting, yeah.
There you go, very nice.
Did I do it? I did!
It's amazing what teams like this. You're gonna stand all the way up and go.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Good, standing.
Hey, Jazz. Finger strength is everything. Actually, just
Finger strength.
getting yourself up there.
You guys at the wall? Wow, they're good.
If you guys are feeling your hands hurt, slap them a couple times. They'll keep you from getting blisters. Stand up. You got it. Very nice. Gotta come down.
Can you do it?
You're gonna reach, grab it, and then drop down.
Good job, girl. Good job.
I want you to be smooth on the swing.
I know.
Like your character's gonna be able to do jump, grab.
You're like a Superman. Superman. Come on, Superman. You can do it.
Work on the.
Yeah.
You mean the get down part?
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Very nice. That's what I want. I want you to be able to